Who's your commander?
Good luck.
Equip.
Move to combat.
Resolves.
Now, before you attack
Does
me,
anyone have an answer?
well played.
Good game.
Hello, this is Jumbo Commander, and today's deck tech is Kazuul Tyrant of the Cliffs. Kazuul Tyrant of the Cliffs is an interesting mono-red commander. 3 red for a 5/4 legendary ogre warrior, and whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if you're the defending player, create a 3/3 red ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. So that's certainly interesting. You think of a mono red deck and you imagine something very aggressive. You're always attacking, and Kazuul wants you to be defensive. You want to invite players to attack you so that you can spawn a bunch of 3/3 ogre warriors. I guess eventually you'll turn those sideways, but this is going to be a different strategy than what we're used to. So let's jump right in and find out what kind of cards can synergize with Kazuul, our commander. Well, I think we need a lot of havoc in this deck. We need lots of combat, and we want to invite people to attack us and show them the consequences of their errors. Cards like Grand Melee, Curse of the Nightly Hunt, and Angel's Trumpet all give weird conditions to attacking. For example, all creatures attack each turn of Fable, all creatures block each turn of Fable. This means that our opponents might attack each other, great, or if they attack us, we're going to be wasting tons of their mana as they pay for Kazuul. This does make things kind of crazy and hard to predict. Let's talk about even more combat shenanigans with Avatar of Slaughter. This is so dangerous, but it is 8 mana. All creatures have double strike and attack each turn if able. Oh my gosh, so dangerous. It gives it to everyone, but definitely an interesting card. I like Fumiko the Blvd, making creatures your opponents control attack each turn, but is also quite defensive. Goblin Diplomats is great because you can activate it, making a specific opponent attack. Goblin Spymaster is really interesting, giving them creatures so that they can attack, but one of my favorite attacking creatures is Warmonger Hellkite, a 6 mana 5/5 flying dragon, great card overall. It makes everyone attack, but you have this pump ability on the Warmonger Hellkite. Attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. Oh, beautiful. There's a few other cards that cause some chaos with combat, Chaos Sphere and Dolmen's Gate. Chaos Sphere makes it difficult for creatures to attack and block, does all sorts of weird crazy rule. Look at that, it's an enchant world, come on. And Dolmen's Gate takes a lot of the fear out of the attacking with your creatures because it prevents all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Now, a lot of what I've mentioned are enchantments and artifacts. We still need some creatures to sort of cause all this chaos. And I think one of the best ones is going to be Grenzo Havoc Razor, because Grenzo creates tons of havoc, goading your creatures. It continues with this attacking strategy. I know that we want to invite people to attack us because we have Kazuul and we want to create ogres, but honestly, we just want chaos and combat throughout the entire table. So Grenzo is going to be perfect giving that and some card advantage. I also love Disrupt Decorum, a crazy over-the-top card that causes tons of problems. And Charging Cinderhorn goes in with this creature combat damage, spreading it all around. And do you know what? Let's even give our opponents the tools that they need to attack. Tempt with Vengeance gives them tons of tokens, letting them attack each other. Death by Dragon singles one person out to not get a dragon, letting everyone attack everyone else. Even Hunted Dragon gives knights away to an opponent, making an ally, but allowing them to deal tons of damage to everyone else. And I think that this is one of my favorite cards, Rite of the Raging Storm, giving each opponent a 5/1 red elemental that can just do tons of damage to everyone else, and we're forcing everything to attack all over the place. And ultimately, we're not just giving everyone a free roll to attack us. We want to make sure that we're taxing them. We're not just letting them attack us easily. We're going to punish them for attacking us. And so a few Rattlesnake cards. like Godo Bandit Warlord that can fetch up Batterskull or Basilisk Caller. Basilisk Caller is perfect because it has Death Touch, which can take out those big creatures that might come attacking towards us, but also Lifelink, because we're going to be spreading so much damage around, we want to be able to gain some of that back. I also am a big fan of Bloodmark Mentor, giving all of our red creatures first strike. That means that the ogres our opponents spawn will be definitely difficult to deal with. The next card is a huge pet card for me, Crown of Doom. It's so much fun. You pay 3 mana to put this stupid crown into play, and then you donate it to an opponent, and you can never get it back, and then you watch as they pass this anthem around to each other and attack each other to give all of their creatures +2/+0. And Gratuitous Violence, actually there's a lot of other cards that could double our damage, kind of like that Avatar of Slaughter, double strike, double damage, and that could be a way to close out the game later on. But this is all about taxation, basically taking away some of our opponent's ability to pay for Kazuul. So a card like War's Toll is perfect. Whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, tap all lands that player controls. Okay, now this isn't going to take away any of their mana, they just have to play all their spells in the same turn. It might take away some of their ability to play instants. I like that, I don't want them interacting with things on my turn. But if a player is tapping all of their lands and playing spells all at once in a main phase, then they have no opportunity to pay the taxation on Kazuul, especially if we're making them attack. Price of Glory also taxes their mana. Mana Web, Tectonic Instability. I love Tectonic Instability, it just really messes with mana. Along with cards like Mana Barbs and Zozu the Punisher, constantly punishing our opponents whenever they tap their mana. And we can attack their mana directly with cards like Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon, even Ruination. Red's got a lot of great non-basic land hate. And as we keep spawning more and more ogres, playing creatures out on the battlefield, cards like Warstorm Surge and Perforos could end up closing out the game. Now, I've talked a little bit about the tension of this deck, how it feels like it's part aggressive, part creature-based, but also part control. And I think that that's something that we have to consider, because if we're inviting a lot of our opponents to attack us and creating chaos, we need to be able to redirect that chaos or control that chaos a little bit. And red is particularly weak in this area. That's why I think Maze of Ith and Spires of Araska are going to be very strong, sort of deterring some of those attacks that could be dealing a lot of damage to us. I also think cards like Vandal Blast or Chaos Warp dealing with problematic permanents, Unstable Obelisk or Oblivion Stone. I know that we have a lot of enchantments ourselves, but we're going to need these outlets because this deck is not over the top aggressive. We're not going to be closing out games very quickly. We're going to be sowing chaos and stretching games out and slowly bringing everyone's life total down. So we are playing with fire here. We're not going to be able to close out games incredibly fast. I also like some control cards like Relic Elemental Blast. I throw this in almost every red deck. There's always a blue player that you will blow out with it, along with Pyroblast. And Reiterate, it's a great counter your counter spell. You can buy it back. It's really good for giving yourself card draw. It's really strong. And of course, another great control card is Gamble, because we need tutors, and this deck overall is a gamble. So what have we learned about Kazuul Tyrant of the Cliffs? Well, we know he's not a typical mono-red commander that's just dumb and turns it sideways. It's got a little bit of chaos, it's got a little bit of control, and it has an aggressive finish as it pumps out 3/3 red ogre creature tokens. He even got a little bit of a token sub-theme going on. I feel like there's so many different directions for this legendary creature, and it's so atypical of mono-red. I think that there are a lot more powerful red commanders, but few that are more unique than Kazuul. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you specifically to my patrons. Thank you, patrons. You can find more information about my Patreon at patreon.com/jumbocommander. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, but also if you are subscribed, make sure to hit that bell icon because you want to get announcements for upcoming videos, especially ones that don't fit the normal schedule, especially when I'm putting out multiple videos a week, and especially because I have a preview card coming out next week. I'm so excited, and you're going to want to see it. All right, everyone, I'll see you really soon for even more Commander content and preview cards. Okay, bye.